consider yourself a person from Willenhall to be a European, and why?
I wouldn't consider myself to be European because Willenhall's a small town and really different.
Do you think the UK should be a part of the EU, and why?
I don't think the UK should be a part of the EU because the UK and other countries are really different, and all the Euros.
How do you see your area in 100 years' time from now?
I see Willenhall bigger and modern.
Would you consider yourself a person from Willenhall to be European, and why?
Well, I think I'd consider myself to be British first and then possibly European.
Do you think the UK should be part of the EU, and why?
Well, yes, I think that the EU now gives so much business to us as a business enterprise that if we weren't part of Europe, I think we would suffer business-wise.
How do you see your area in 100 years' time from now?
Well, I think more technology will be available. I think we'll have more security cameras probably put all over the place. But I'd like to see full employment and a better standard of living for everybody.
Okay, thank you. Would you consider yourself a person from Willenhall to be European, and why?
Would I consider a person from Willenhall to be European?
Now, would you consider yourself a person from Willenhall to be European?
Right, I'm not from Willenhall. Right, but I'm from West Brom, so it's not a million miles away. So, yes and no. We're obviously European because we're in Europe. But having lived in Europe, perhaps it's because we're a bit on the edges of Europe that we're not quite as European as we should be. I think if we lived in mainland Europe, we'd have more sort of influence and feel more European. But I don't think we see ourselves as being particularly European.
Okay. Do you think the UK should be part of the EU, and why?
Yes, absolutely, because I think we're stronger in it than we are outside of it on our own. We're not the empire that we used to be. I think we need Europe more than ever nowadays.
Okay. How do you see your area in 100 years' time from now?
Well, I'll be dead, so that'd be very difficult. But everything will be different. I mean, like I say, I come from West Brom, and West Brom is undergoing massive change. Paul Hayes won't be here, obviously, in 100 years' time, so that'd be different.
Okay. Would you consider yourself a person from Willenhall to be European? European? Yeah.
So you can do it, can't you? But you need to have it before you go out, like when you come back. Why? And if you're hungry when you come back, you can have, I don't know, a little snack or something before you go to bed.
Do you think the UK should be part of the EU, and why?
No. It's got too big, far too big now.
Keep telling us how to weigh things and that,
I know. I like pounds and ounces.
How do you see your area in 100 years' time from now?
I'll be dead.
No comment.
Dirt.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
What do you like about Willenhall and why? What I like about Willenhall is that it feels like home because I've been here all the time.
What do you consider yourself as a Willenhall to the Europeans, and why?
I don't consider myself to be European because it doesn't feel right because of all these countries are so different.
How do you Many people have said do you think the UK should be part of the EU, and why? Many people have said that we should be a part of the EU because else we'd suffer business-wise. That's true.
The question, how do you see your area in 100 time from now? They've answered pretty similar, saying that we'll be dead.
What makes you feel British?
I was born here. I think you're always proud of the place where you are born, even when you move to a different country, and you can be part of that as well. But you always have an allegiance, I think, to the place where you're born. I was born in Yorkshire, and I feel quite protective about Yorkshire, although I haven't lived in it since the age of 5. So I am proud to be British, because I think we've got an amazing history, and on balance we are kind. We look after other people if we can. If there's ever an issue about charity and giving, the British always dig deep and give more than anybody else. So I am proud of my country, yes.
What forms your British identity?
My heritage, well actually, if we all look back in our families, we'll find we come from all kinds of places. Historically, I've got Dutch, Danish, Irish, and those are the ones I know about. But the families all came here to settle here, and my identity is definitely British. I wouldn't turn up for the Dutch if they had a problem, but I would for the British. To be independent. But please note, they don't really want to be independent. They want to be independent within the EU, which means they don't like the United Kingdom, but they do like the European Union. Why? Because they think they're going to get funding from it. And they might do in happy days, but the time will come when they won't, because there won't be the people there to put the money in. Money doesn't grow on trees, you have to earn it. And the Scots, I think, are making a mistake. And it's a shame that they want to leave us. But I think the United Kingdom in 100 years will still be the United Kingdom. It will if people like me have their way, and we will be an independent nation.